Hello, my name is Jeremy Hammond, and this is the official STL Tech Talk full review of the Samsung Galaxy Mega. Let's get started. Really nice device. I mean, it is humongous, but it is a very nice device. So I went ahead and took it outside just to show, what it looks like outside. Not a lot of videos do that, and I wanted to highlight that here. Again, very slim profile, very nice. We've got a 1.7 gigahertz dual core CPU, 2 gigs RAM, Snapdragon 400 processor, up to 64 gigabytes of storage space with a micro SD card, 8.7 megapixel camera, and a 3200 milliamp battery. Micro USB port for charging, syncing, NFC, S-Beam for all you Samsung app fans, and the latest version of TouchWiz. Not a lot of similarities, or excuse me, a lot of similarities to the Galaxy S4. 6.3 inch LCD screen, 720p display. It does have a lot of similarities with the Galaxy S4, but it does not have the 1080p display. Very interesting choice, especially with a device such as this. Here we have, looking at the device from a couple of different angles, I wanted to show, really just the size of this device. Very large, and it's definitely a two-handed device, even though I'm setting it down obviously here. You turn it on, you hear these beautiful sounds. I really like, ta-da, here's your phone. And very nice, use of colors. I really like the schemes and the transitions. However, you're going to hear me say scale a lot in this review, just simply because if you look at the individual apps and then these little tabs here at the right, everything is so small and you have so much real estate here. You click on one thing, it's just not to scale for this device. It's just really different. It's a really different experience, especially when you're dealing with this big of a screen. Audio quality was really good. I went ahead and tested some songs on it. I'm not going to play those for you right here this second, but it definitely does have that capability. Now, another thing that I found interesting is you don't have any pinch to zoom, which is very interesting, and I don't know why. The home button, very interactive. Like that a lot as well. Here's the camera application. It will track the motion wherever you want to focus in on, which is really nice. Over here, if I can get this to open, which is actually nice, you have to tap on it instead of swiping, accidentally hitting that. For all of you Instagram fans and all you Facebook fans for uploading photographs and stuff that you like, go ahead and check that out. You're going to like that a lot. Here's another interesting feature we have is the landscape mode. This does not exist currently besides this device. And Samsung's tablet line. So it's kind of interesting that you would have that here. Now, looking at this device, huge display again, but the individual buttons that you have to click on aren't really to scale. I mean, it shows a little bit here, but it's not, you just have so much screen real estate to use, but they didn't make, Samsung didn't make very good use of that in their software. So it was really interesting to see that they just kind of threw Galaxy S4 software on this much larger device. And again, you can see that here. If we can get just a little bit closer, you can see that these A through Z for your contacts, very small buttons on the right hand side. Why not have a bigger display why not have bigger buttons for that? Very interesting choice. And then here, again, looking at the device, very thin profile, really nice when it comes to, it's slick, very clean look, aside from the fact that it's a fingerprint magnet. Again, on the right side, you have the power button. On the left side, you have the volume rockers. On the top, you have a mic. You also have a noise-canceling microphone. At the top, you have the 3.5 millimeter headset jack. And again, fingerprint magnet. I mean, that's just me touching it here, just to hold it, and it's really difficult to keep clean. So a lot of you are gonna want to have cases for this. Anyways, kind of interesting though that Samsung doesn't really have a lot as far as that goes. But again, really nice display. For what it is. Again, drag, drop your individual applications. It was really responsive and fast. Again, I don't like the fact that it didn't have a pinch to zoom. Going to another issue I have with TouchWiz is not being able to jump and do multitasking very well with this device. And we're going to see here basically the reason for this device. And I really didn't come to understand it until eventually, looking and clicking on the YouTube and game apps. this is a media consumption device, hands down media consumption device. So I would suggest the most common use for this device is definitely going to be for media consumption and gameplay. Here is, like, you know, a Tetris game. Right now, this is the small version at the top, but see, look at all the on the left and right hand side, how you have so much real estate to use for these games. But again, to scale, this device was made kind of right after the Samsung Galaxy S4, so it's not really to fit the overall user experience. I didn't really care for that too much. Over here, down here on the right, you'll see another second screen. Something that I really like, especially when you're on Google Plus Hangouts or you're in a chat, is where you have the availability to view your the other person and yourself, and this makes a good experience as far as being able to see what you look like and another person looks like in a very realistic way. Again, you're going to probably watch a lot of videos on here, probably watch a lot of YouTube videos. This is a great device for that, so I think you guys are going to enjoy this one a lot.
And the best part is, it's free. Sort of.
And then here's just to further highlight the point of the media consumption device. You know, this is on AT&T's 4G LTE network. It's not lagging here. You would think that it would be kind of because of the screen size, but I think they made up for that, again, with it being a 720p display. Here you have, well, you probably, the song for Requiem of a Dream has kind of been remixed for this game here, but you can see that the animation isn't lagging whatsoever, and you'll see that a lot again with the user play. I wouldn't recommend this for kids just because of how big it is and how easily the screen could probably crack on you, so it's definitely going to be for an older audience, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of cumbersome and awkward in that respect. See if I can get this guy to stop playing here. And then looking at the device in portrait mode, vertical, that's how it's referred to as portrait. Looking at, you can't pinch and zoom and get in there and really see what this device could be, again, to scale, so you have to kind of get a little bit closer. But I will say that reading books on this was a pleasure. I like the Time Machine. It's a good book. Flipping through pages fast, it worked really well. The letters were really nice to look at. Usually, aside from that, is easy transitions. Again, making it feel like you have a book in your hand, which is literally the size of a book in some cases. Okay, and here is the 8.7 megapixel camera, again with the LED flash. Fingerprints, I went ahead and wiped off a little bit to just show you there the how easily smudged it can be. You pull the quick drop-down menu. Let's see here, we got the smart screen, or excuse me, the screen mirroring. We have the S-Beam, power saving mode. These are a quick access toolbar, Wi-Fi, GPS, sound, screen rotation. Here's just another way that you could see the photo in action. Photos on this were pretty good. I was kind of surprised that it didn't take as good as pictures as the Galaxy S4. You pinch. You can move around your home displays, you can put up different applications, you can set different home screens, and here's swapping back and forth between widgets and your home screen. Pretty fast, a little bit of a lag, but not much. Not much as I thought. Battery life was fantastic on this phone, which I'll talk about here in a minute. Settings, if you want to keep an eye on your data usage and your battery life, here is a good place to do that. Right here we have the smart screen. Again, these are quick access to different features of the device. if you could pull down from the top of the device. But the power saving mode is here, something to consider for everybody who's usually out on the go. You click on more, go to Applications Manager, and here's what I want you to check out. All these downloaded applications are on here. That's fine, that's no big deal, but here's where you can see how many gigabytes are free and how many you've used. Again, this does scale from 16 to 64 gigabytes worth of onboard storage. But I would like for you to go ahead and swipe over rather, to the running applications. Now here is where it sucks the life out of your battery. You can either uninstall the app, turn off the app, or force it to stop. And again, you'll want to go ahead and swing over, if we can just one more time, to running applications. You know, Samsung is really bad about leaving all these applications running simultaneously. A lot of these things don't need to be running, and look how much RAM it's taking up on the device. So that's something I'd like for you guys to consider. When you use really any device, but especially Android, is all these background tasks that are on can really slow down performance. So again, go to the running section under the application settings, and you should be able to control that. Why are all these things run? AT&T ready to go, AT&T Locker. A lot of these things can be stopped. All you have to do again is click on them and force stop and things of that nature, and then you'll be able to deal with that. What I was just doing there was trying to go back. Something that I kind of have an issue with Android, here's you can pin different quick access from the drop down menu. Something I do have a problem with Android is the back button on some of these with the Samsung TouchWiz doesn't work very well. Right here I'm putting this device through its paces as far as seeing how fast it can keep up with my typing. For those of you who like physical keyboards, it does click and it does kind of have that feeling sort of to it, even though it's not a physical keyboard. It is ginormous, but again, it's kind of cumbersome, which is strange. You would think it would kind of be easier to type on, but it isn't. Pretty responsive. Me just randomly typing in numbers here. It's fairly well. Okay guys, and that is my review of the Samsung Galaxy Mega, the 6.3 inch screen. Basically my conclusion is that this is a media consumption device. I didn't really realize that, like I said before, until actually having used it and looking at it for what it is. It's only a 720 display. When you're watching YouTube videos, obviously you have a huge real estate to view everything. It's got a really nice picture, but it doesn't capture that 1080p quality that you see on some of the Samsung Galaxy S4s. So, having said that, my end-all review is that the only reason why you'd want to buy this thing is for its media capabilities, and even that's kind of lacking. But thanks again to AT&T for loaning this so we could do this review. Signal quality was fantastic everywhere that I went on this thing. So, again, if you want to pick up something that's more used for media than anything else, this was definitely the device to get. Thanks.